Some of the warning signs of electrical problems include dimming lights when a load is applied, and electrical safety hazards such as lamp cord instead of NM cable or unterminated NM cable. It's important to have competent electricians who should thoroughly inspect all electrical systems and identify potential safety hazards. They should also be knowledgeable about electrical codes and best practices. Electrical connections to the utility must be completed by the utility company after a final inspection. This ensures proper and safe connection of the electrical system to the power grid. The consequences of improper connections include corrosion and electrical failures, safety hazards such as power outages and electrical shocks, and potential damage to property and appliances. For prevention and recommendations, firstly, homeowners should be aware of signs of electrical problems and contact a qualified electrician immediately if any are detected. Secondly, electricians should perform thorough inspections and follow all electrical codes and best practices. Thirdly, homeowners should verify that the electrical system has been properly connected to the utility after a remodel. Lastly, regular electrical inspections and maintenance are crucial for maintaining the safety and efficiency of your home's electrical system. Electrical codes and standards are in place to ensure the safety of electrical installations. These codes provide guidelines for proper wiring, grounding, overcurrent protection, and other safety measures. Adherence to these codes minimizes the risk of electrical hazards such as shocks, fires, and equipment damage. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. It provides a low-resistance path for fault currents to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or fuse and disconnecting the power. This prevents dangerous voltage from appearing on metal parts of appliances and equipment, reducing the risk of electric shock. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. These devices automatically interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a safe level, preventing overheating and potential fires. Regular maintenance of electrical systems is essential for ensuring their continued safety and reliability. This includes inspecting wiring for damage, tightening connections, testing ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs, and replacing worn or damaged components. Neglecting maintenance can lead to electrical hazards and costly repairs. When working with electricity, it's important to take precautions to protect yourself from electric shock. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment or PPE, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses, and using insulated tools. Always disconnect power before working on electrical circuits and verify that the circuit is de-energized using a voltage tester. Extension cords can be convenient for temporary power needs, but they can also pose safety hazards if not used properly. Avoid overloading extension cords and never use them as a substitute for permanent wiring. Inspect extension cords regularly for damage and replace them if the insulation is cracked or frayed. Surge protection devices can help protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage spikes caused by lightning strikes or power surges. These devices divert excess voltage away from the equipment, preventing damage. Consider installing surge protectors on your main electrical panel and at individual outlets to protect your valuable electronics. Aluminum wiring was commonly used in homes built in the 1960s and 1970s. However, it has been found to be more prone to corrosion and loosening of connections than copper wiring, which can lead to overheating and fire hazards. If your home has aluminum wiring, it's important to have it inspected by a qualified electrician and take steps to mitigate the risks. This may include replacing the aluminum wiring with copper wiring or installing special connectors that are designed for use with aluminum wiring. Arc fault circuit interrupters or SIs are a type of circuit breaker that can detect arc faults, which are a common cause of electrical fires. SIs are designed to trip the circuit breaker when an arc fault is detected, preventing the fire from starting. Building codes now require SIs in many circuits throughout the home, particularly in bedrooms and living areas. Ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs are designed to protect people from electric shock by detecting ground faults. A ground fault occurs when current leaks from a circuit to ground, such as through a person's body. CFCIs are designed to trip the circuit breaker when a ground fault is detected, cutting off the power and preventing electric shock. CFCIs are required in areas where water is present, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor outlets. Electrical panels should be properly labeled to indicate the circuits they control. This makes it easier to identify and shut off power to specific circuits when needed. If your electrical panel is not properly labeled, take the time to create a clear and accurate labeling system. Tamper-resistant receptacles, or TRR, are designed to prevent children from inserting objects into electrical outlets. TRR have spring-loaded shutters that block the slots in the receptacle unless both prongs of a plug are inserted simultaneously. TRR are required in new construction and renovations to protect young children from electrical shock. Smoke detectors are essential safety devices that provide early warning of a fire. They should be installed on every level of your home and outside of sleeping areas. Test smoke detectors regularly to ensure that they are working properly, and replace batteries at least once a year. Carbon monoxide or CO detectors are designed to detect the presence of carbon monoxide gas, which is a colorless, odorless, and poisonous gas. CO detectors should be installed near sleeping areas to provide early warning of CO poisoning. Test CO detectors regularly to ensure that they are working properly, and replace batteries at least once a year. Knob and tube wiring is an older type of wiring that was commonly used in homes built before the 1940s. Knob and tube wiring is ungrounded and has several potential safety hazards. If your home has knob and tube wiring, it's important to have it inspected by a qualified electrician and take steps to mitigate the risks. This may include replacing the knob and tube wiring with modern wiring. Electrical work should always be performed by a qualified electrician. Electricians have the training and experience necessary to safely and properly install and repair electrical systems. Attempting to do electrical work yourself without the proper knowledge and skills can be dangerous and may violate electrical codes. When hiring an electrician, be sure to check their credentials and ensure that they are licensed and insured. Ask for references and check online reviews to get an idea of their reputation. Get a written estimate before work begins, and make sure that the estimate includes all costs, including labor, materials, and permits. Permits are required for many types of electrical work. A permit ensures that the work is inspected by a qualified electrical inspector to ensure that it meets electrical codes. Permits help to ensure that electrical work is done safely and properly. Electrical codes are constantly evolving to reflect new technologies and safety standards. Stay informed about the latest electrical codes and regulations to ensure that your electrical system is up to date and compliant. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a widely adopted set of electrical codes and standards in the United States. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect new technologies and safety standards. Familiarize yourself with the NEC to understand the requirements for electrical installations in your area. Electrical inspections are an important part of ensuring the safety of electrical systems. Inspections are typically required for new construction, renovations, and when selling a home. A qualified electrical inspector will examine the electrical system to ensure that it meets electrical codes and is safe. The main electrical panel is the central hub of your home's electrical system. It distributes power to all of the circuits in your home. The electrical panel should be properly sized to handle the electrical load of your home. An undersized electrical panel can lead to overloads and other problems. Electrical outlets should be properly spaced throughout your home to provide convenient access to power. Outlets should be located near where you need them to avoid the need for extension cords. Overloading electrical outlets can lead to overheating and fire hazards. Avoid plugging too many devices into a single outlet. Use power strips with built-in surge protection to protect your electronic equipment. Light fixtures should be properly installed and maintained to ensure that they are safe and reliable. Use the correct type of light bulb for each fixture to avoid overheating and fire hazards. Inspect light fixtures regularly for damage and replace them if the insulation is cracked or frayed. Wiring should be properly installed and supported to prevent damage. Wiring should be protected from physical damage by conduit or other means. Wiring should be kept away from sources of heat and moisture. When installing or repairing wiring, be sure to use the correct type of wire for the application. Different types of wire are designed for different purposes and have different current carrying capacities. Using the wrong type of wire can lead to overheating and fire hazards. Electrical boxes should be properly installed and secured to provide a safe enclosure for wiring connections. Electrical boxes should be made of metal or plastic and should be sized appropriately for the number of wires they contain. Electrical connections should be made using approved methods, such as wire connectors or solder. Wire connectors should be properly sized for the wires they are connecting and should be tightened securely. Loose wire connections can lead to overheating and fire hazards. When making electrical connections, be sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions. Improperly made electrical connections can be dangerous and may violate electrical codes. Electrical tape should be used to insulate wire connections. Electrical tape should be applied in multiple layers to provide adequate insulation. Be sure to use electrical tape that is rated for the voltage and temperature of the application. When working on electrical circuits, always disconnect the power at the circuit breaker or fuse box. Verify that the circuit is de-energized using a voltage tester before touching any wires. Never assume that a circuit is de-energized even if the switch is turned off. Treat all electrical circuits as if they are live. When working with electricity, always be aware of your surroundings. Avoid touching metal objects or standing in water while working on electrical circuits. Keep children and pets away from electrical work areas. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician. It is better to be safe than sorry when it comes to electricity. If you have any doubts about your ability to safely perform electrical work, it is best to leave it to a professional. Remember that electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take precautions to protect yourself and others from electric shock and fire. By following these safety tips, you can help to ensure that your home's electrical system is safe and reliable. When working on electrical systems, it's important to consult the appropriate electrical codes and standards for your area. These codes provide detailed requirements for electrical installations and can help you ensure that your work is safe and compliant. In addition to the NEC, there may be local electrical codes that you need to follow. Check with your local building department to find out what codes are in effect in your area. Staying informed about electrical safety is an ongoing process. New technologies and safety standards are constantly being developed, so it's important to stay up to date. Take advantage of resources such as online articles, training courses, and industry publications to learn more about electrical safety. By educating yourself about electrical safety, you can help to protect yourself, your family, and your property from electrical hazards. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following these safety tips and staying informed about electrical codes and standards, you can help to create a safer environment for yourself and others.